about Saturday, 5 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. And we are now joined by All-Pro left tackle and Super Bowl 52 champ, Lane Johnson. Lane, so good to have you with us. I'm looking forward to it, although Skip, he's been a bit conflicted about this all morning.
I'm extremely conflicted because I was born and raised a huge University of Oklahoma football fan, and you were a great player for my Sooners, but I don't like much of anything about your Philadelphia Eagles, so I got a problem today, but I'm going to try to wade through it. So here we go.
I understand.
So I've always wanted to ask you this, speaking of the University of Oklahoma. You were a very good high school quarterback. You went to Kilgore Junior College in large part to play quarterback, right? You played a little bit of tight end there. Then you get signed by my Sooners, and you go up there as kind of a quasi tight end.
Just an athlete.
Right? Just an athlete, right? And the segue over a 2-year period from a star quarterback to, then you played defensive line a little bit, and all of a sudden you wind up as a star offensive tackle, right? And then left tackle. I have never heard of anyone going from quarterback to left tackle. It's never happened before.
I never thought it was going to ever happen.
Okay, and how did it happen?
Nobody dreams of being an offensive lineman.
I don't think
well, they did a similar thing with Jamal Brown. I think when he got there, he was a few years ahead of me, but he was a defensive tackle. And so the same guy, Mark Mangino at Kansas, ended up talking to Stoops about moving him. Ended up converting, was I think a 3-time Pro Bowler at left tackle for the Redskins. And then, he comes up to me that spring. I'm going to my junior year, and our right tackle gets hurt, and he says, "Do you want to play?" I said, "No." few more weeks.
What were you at that point?
I was probably 275, 280.
And what position you were playing?
I was playing defensive end.
You were? Okay, so you'd gone.
So, I was a rotational guy during the spring. And so our guy went down, I believe his name, Jarvis Jones, went down, knee injury, and then next thing I know, I'm kick sliding and been here ever since. So it all went by fast. But yeah, I mean, going into college, my coach, who actually played at Oklahoma, Keith Thomas, he said, "You're not going to be a quarterback." And after that terrible year at Kilgore, I threw a lot of pick sixes.
A lot of pick sixes.
Had more tackles than touchdowns. So after that changed up and things started going right.
So what happened the first day you're trying to play tackle? And you've gone from quarterback to trying to block for the quarterback. What was that like?
Yeah, so actually I was playing defensive end. We're in the pass rush drill, and I rushed a passer, and the next thing I know, I'm over there kicking back, and I was like, hey, it's kind of like, it's pretty similar to basketball, which I played a lot growing up, and next thing you know, here we are.
So having the magic feet at your position is key, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at tackles now, the guys are so explosive out there. It's all about, you got to have some quick twitch fiber, and you got to have, you got to get off that ball. And so I think, you look at guys around the league, athletes, Tyron Smith, Joe Staley.
Yep.
I think those are, type of guys, at least I model my game around coming out.
So when you're setting up, obviously you're studying the guy, and you have to study a lot of guys because they rotate so much. What's more difficult for you, to try to kick in space, the guy in the wide nine, or you prepare for the bull?
Well, you got to be prepared at all times. But I mean, one thing Jason Peters always said to me is that the defensive end is going to react off of what you're presenting.
Right.
So, 9 times out of 10, if I'm setting back quick, if I have a good low base, I'm going to be good. The thing happens is, sometimes you may overkick, and the defensive line is looking for that space between the guard and tackle so they can run those games. So there's a fine line that you're living on.
Right.
And that, that's the line that, every year, that's what we play.
So let's talk some Eagles, Cowboys, shall we?
Let's talk it.
What was the difference in game number 1 last year and game number 2 in Philadelphia?
Well, I remember, I think the second drive of the game, I gave up a strip sack to DeMarcus. So
you did?
That didn't go well.
Yeah.
After that,
we're talking about, what was the score? 37-10, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, hey,
that was the first game.
Yeah, it wasn't looking good for us.
Yep.
And then, it's pretty similar to the year we had before, with just constant adversity, injuries, and somehow we found a way towards the end to get it done. But I mean, it's always a battle.
Okay, and then what happened in game 2? What was the difference?
I was on the sideline watching. I was watching my guys compete. I felt like our offensive line played pretty well. I think some of the younger guys at receiver stepped up, Greg Ward, and really, I mean, this came down to a dogfight.
It came down to Cowboys being the Cowboys. They do Cowboys things when you can need them to do what they're supposed to do. You could always count on the Cowboys doing Cowboys things, which is like not showing up.
Like the year before when they won a playoff game. And
you see,
I don't know.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Right.
The man said he was on the sideline. He's on the sideline. Alshon was on the sideline. Banged up and walking to him. I gave Carson Wentz the name Walk It To It. Because we get them long handoffs. I mean, he's throwing about 30, 40 yards. It's like a handoff in the backfield.
Yeah.
So how much better do you think Wentz is than Dak Prescott?
It's hard. It's hard to compare. But I think, both of those guys I think they're elite quarterbacks. I think Dak does a good job not turning the ball over. He, creates big plays, smart, intelligent guy. I've talked to him numerous times. Carson, I think, answered a lot of questions this year. When you have a lot of those injuries, a lot of your stars out, and he comes out there and is playing really consistent. Obviously, you like to have him healthy for the playoff game, maybe make another push. But, amongst all the criticism that he had this year, I think he did a good job of stepping up, ignoring it, and really just going to work. I mean, when I go into the building every day, I see a guy that's, there before everybody and kind of, not to sound cliche, but really putting in the time.
And speaking of the last offseason, the controversy, there was a big story, what was it called? The Philly Voice had it about questioning his leadership abilities, and you defended him, as I recall. Seemed like a lot of the leaders defended him. What was your view of the criticism of his leadership?
Well, first of all, it's a weird predicament to be in. And I think he did a good job of addressing that. Coming forth with, some
The predicament, you mean Nick Foles?
Yeah. It is a weird situation, but ultimately I think he did a good job of handling it. He's a competitive guy, and I think, he addressed those questions. He answered that and then moved on. And so turned the page, had a great year this past year, and, ready for this year.
Were you surprised at how great Nick Foles played for you and how not great he played at Jacksonville?
Well, how many games did he play at Jacksonville before he got, so you didn't really have a whole lot of time to read that. But, yeah, I was there with Nick my rookie year, 27-2, so I've seen him play very well. And then the Super Bowl run just it all went by so fast, and you don't really have time to grasp it. Just really, I think what we did with him, we shortened up the playbook, made it real simple, and really just, went on his strengths and what he does best.
And sometimes quarterbacks just fit locker rooms, and they fit situations, and they fit coaches, and he was the perfect fit.
He's a guy with no ego.
Yep.
I mean, when you look at Nick Foles, he doesn't have an ego, and that's, in this league, it's, I think it's commendable.
I think the biggest thing, Nick, is I feel that the biggest thing that destroy careers is expectations.
Yes.
He stepped in. There was no expectation. Well, they lost Wentz. So if they lose, okay.
We had nothing to lose.
Right.
Yeah.
You go to Jacksonville. They give you the amount of money they gave him. They're expecting him. So the expectations are ramped up now. So they're expecting what we saw in Minnesota in the championship game, what we saw in the Super Bowl. That's what we should get now. And it doesn't necessarily work out that. The transition, let me ask you this. We were talking about it earlier this morning. We led the show with it. The Cowboys want Dak Prescott to give them a hometown discount, give them a break. Where are you with that with players giving team discounts?
I like players getting their money, to be honest. I'm not mad at them.
Yeah.
Because I think what that does, it helps other players with their contracts. They compare, contrast, this and that. I'm not mad at guys getting their money. It is what it is. There's plenty of money to go around. So that's why I'm mad.
You make very good money, but help me out. How many national TV ads have you done?
Hey, I'm offensive lineman.
I know.
Who does it? Nobody does it.
Dak's got about
0.
12.
Yeah.
He's got about 12, so he's making a whole lot of money off the field.
Yeah.
Right, Mr. Sharp?
So you're saying, hey, get a hometown discount and let's help out the team. That's what y'all want in a perfect world?
That's how you do it.
No.
Yes.
I want my money.
No, you want the Cowboys to lose.
But here's the thing, and you came in under the system, Lane. They already suppress how much a guy can make coming into the league.
Yeah, the bar's set.
So we've already suppressed it here. Now we got a cap. We're going to suppress it there.
Yeah.
So in other words, we want you to fit in between here, but in fitting in between here, we want you to go here. Huh? Where they do that at?
Hey, that's why they got agents, huh?
Exactly.
That's why they got them.
That's fair.
That's why you don't need a salary cap, and that's why you guys should fight not to have one.
No.
And if you have to miss football games and lose some checks, you're going to have to
No, he don't want a salary cap now because Jerry has the money, the big team.
Yeah, I got you.
And I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
Hey, if there's no cap, I'm golden. Right?
Yeah,
Good to go.
you are.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. So let's go back to the 2017 run. Who came up with the German Shepherd mask idea? The underdog mask.
Chris Long did.
Was it Chris Long? I thought maybe you had, but I wasn't sure.
I mean, we were sitting there having lunch or dinner, one of those, and he talks about it, and I get on Amazon and kind of, hey, Amazon, you can get anything on this.
Anything.
They say German Shepherd mask appears.
Huh.
But you also made it famous because you wore one.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So the goal, we played against the Falcons, and a lot of talk. Everybody was injured, and so it wasn't, had grim expectations, and so coming out there, we get the win. I give the mask to Jason Peters. He gives them to us after the game. And then next thing you know, I just think it kind of took off with the town of Philadelphia, I just think with kind of the Rocky, the kind of the feel.
Underdog.
Underdog, yeah. I think it just kind of went well with him.
And were you threatening to bring him back out last year? Because you deserved him with all the injuries you guys had, right?
Yeah, but hey, it's kind of hard to duplicate that, so I'll just let that rest.
Yeah, one shot, one kill, Skip.
That's it.
So will you guarantee 2 Eagles victories next year over the Dallas Cowboys?
Well, hey, don't ask me dumb questions. I mean, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
I like
that's
that.
what I want to
I like
say.
the
You better be
I
confident.
think we got a hell yeah.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Are you guaranteeing to?
You're not. First of all, you're not winning the division. I've already told you the Eagles got this division locked. They got the better the best quarterback in the division resides in Philly.
Wait, he's the guy you say, my guy, the second best, you say he deserves $40 million. Yeah. Which is it?
Can you tell him how free agency works? Free agency is not about being good. It's about being free.
It's about the timing, too. It's all about timing.
And you know the going, Skip, you know when to go. Look here. I don't believe all those houses up in Malibu should start at $5 million. I don't, Skip.
Well, they should, too. It's location.
And Jack says, I play quarterback, I play quarterback, I play quarterback.
For the Cowboys, and I make $50 million off the field.
Off the field.
Hold on.
I hear what he's saying. Hey, he wants the best team possible. I get it. Hey, I understand.
Thank you.
And guess what Dak is? A team. Team Dak. So let me get, so in other words, if you were doing national spots, they say, you know what? You got 5 national spots, Lane. We know you should get $70 million over 3 years, but we want to give you 50.